Welcome aboard!
For your safety and the safety of your fellow peers, please keep all hands and feet inside the classroom at all times.
From ancient Sumerian civilization to the beautiful shipping ports of Venice, we're going to take you on a journey of a lifetime through the wonderful world of literature.
Our first stop is ancient Mesopotamia, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Oh yeah, and hold on tight. Here we go!
Rising up, back on the street, did my time.
Gilgamesh is a story shaped by centuries of storytellers who lived in ancient times. Gilgamesh, the hero of our story, is out to seek
Immortality.
yeah, that, as a part of his epic quest. After defeating an immense giant,
Baba.
guardian of the cedar forest, and the loss of his companion Enkidu, King Gilgamesh was prepared for just about anything. With a little help from the gods and goddesses, divine intervention if you will, and overcoming other perilous obstacles, the journey of our hero was recorded and continues to awe audiences for future generations.
Speaking of gods and goddesses, in this story they become pretty frustrated with the whole existence of humanity. They decide to flood the earth, but I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with that plot line, along the same lines as Noah's Ark. Anyway, this epic tale is pretty involved, but that's what makes Gilgamesh's adventure so interesting. Hey, I think I can see pyramids in the distance. Looks like we're going to Egypt.
Walk like an Egyptian.
We're all familiar with Aladdin, with that Princess Jasmine, the magic carpet, and that funny blue genie that grants all desires and wishes. Well, this genie is anything but cheerful. In fact, he's quite evil. One day, a poor fisherman ventures out to the sea trying to catch food for his hungry family. He stumbles about a copper bottle, and with a dramatic puff of smoke, a genie comes shooting out. Frozen with terror, the fisherman stands astonished. The genie threatens the fisherman's life. He explains how he is betrayed and trapped inside the bottle for thousands of years.
Begging for mercy, the fisherman questions why he deserves to die. The genie set out on seeking his revenge shows no mercy. However, his gullibility and cruel attitude ends up hurting him in the end. The fisherman uses his wit and traps the genie back into the bottle. Moral of the story? Don't repay kindness with evil. Now get your chopsticks ready, because we're going to China.
He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good.
Oh, well that sounds like some pretty good advice. Who said that?
One of the most famous Chinese philosophers of all time, Confucius. In fact, he was full of good ideas and wrote them down in a really large book we like to call the Analects. His advice was full of aphorisms, life lessons regarding proper behavior in society. Confucius was also very big on filial piety, respecting one's ancestors. He developed 5 basic relationships for treating one another. So yeah, Confucius was definitely a major influence on Chinese culture, as well as literature. Well, on to our next stop. I hope you're in the mood for pizza, because Italy, here we come!
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
Okay, so here's the story. One of William Shakespeare's most famous comedies tells the story of a generous aristocrat, Antonio, who lends money to his dear friend Bassanio. Bassanio needs the money to travel to Belmont, where he must pass a test, to marry the elegant and witty Portia. Antonio's money is with his ships, and until they arrive, he must borrow the cash from a grudge-ridden Jewish moneylender, Shylock. That doesn't sound too bad, does it?
Well, guess again. Shylock makes a deal with Antonio that if he is unable to repay the money he borrowed, he must forfeit a pound of his own flesh. Yeah, that doesn't sound too pleasant, I know. So anyway, a few acts and a couple scenes later, Bassanio gets the girl and Shylock's daughter, Jessica, marries Antonio's friend, Lorenzo. But it doesn't finish with a happy ending yet. Well, Antonio comes very close to losing his life, but he is saved by Portia in disguise. Shylock almost goes on trial for wanting to take a life, but in the end is spared and forced to convert to Christianity. In the end, Antonio is rich, Bassanio is happily married, and they all lived happily ever after. Well, sort of.
Our next tale comes from one of the most sacred texts of Indian culture, the Ramayana. Okay, picture this. A fierce battlefield with an evil giant who has 20 arms and 10 heads, and an angry prince engage in intense combat. The giant Ravana has kidnapped Sita, Rama's wife. I don't know about you, but I certainly wouldn't want to face a giant with 10 heads.
But Rama, being as brave and honorable as he was, with the help of his useful weapons and a monkey army, plans to free his wife from the evil hands of Ravana. After a series of vicious attacks and magical illusions, Rama has the upper hand. With a painful pierce of the heart, Rama is defeated and the battle is over. Now Rama is very humble about his victory, and as a sign of respect buries the body of his enemy. Wow, that Rama, what a nice guy.
Well, that concludes our wonderful journey. I hope you all learned something.
Don't forget to visit the gift shop on your way out.
And remember, anything is possible with literature.